Damn it. God damn it. Ah, this video's taking me too long. I gotta upload it. I'm having chest pains. I got sciatica in my leg. Oh boy, let's go. It's my birthday today. Woo, school tomorrow, midterms. Video failing. Okay. Who needs a script? I only wrote the first 2 paragraphs anyway. Let's go. Exactly 1 year ago today, my mind was set on one thing, and that thing was my gaming PC in the mail, set to arrive any day now. And what I wanted to do with that PC more than anything was to play Scrap Mechanic. And on Scrap Mechanic, I wanted to do a build challenge like I had seen all the other YouTubers do. Now, a year later, I finally did it. I found a nice person in the community and invited him to my world. He then showed me this toaster that he had built with working timers and pop-up action. Anyways, my first idea for a challenge was one of those lifts that electricians use to go up and fix the poles, but I couldn't think of the name of it, and he seemed to want to do more of a traditional looking car. So, I thought of the amazing pickup truck challenge. I quick designed the obstacles, which consisted of a box with a toilet on top that would be dropped into your back. You would then go over a speed bump and drop off the toilet into a marked off square area. I had him design the speed bump because he had already gotten a head start on building, and also I'm lazy. As I was building my wheels, I came across the problem that the suspension is just too darn big. I had to work around this multiple times, and it caused problems with my build throughout the entire process. I really wanted the suspension though, as I thought it was necessary to get over the speed bump. As I finished up the wheels, my friend and I both need to take a break for separate reasons. When I came back, my friend was still gone. So I went on Steam and opened up the challenge to anyone else who wanted to join. I then found a nice person who thought the challenge was a good idea. I decided to outline the course with cones to better show the direction you're supposed to go, and a nice path for people who weren't here when it was made. As I'm working on my truck, the new friend joins, and he's a little confused on how the course works. So I go over and I outline the start very clearly for him. As I'm making the front of my truck, I use these grill blocks, which are really underused in most other people's builds. For the color, I decided to go with a nice classic blue. Then I decided to work on the back part of my truck, which is the main component. I thought of a pretty ingenious way to get it working. I decided to take a look at the competition, and he's going for a nice pipe design that a lot of people use, but I could never really pull off. While making my truck, I realized I've made a huge error and the cab is way too big, so I have to compensate and make it a two-seater. The front wheels break off again and I have to rebuild them. Again, this happens way too much while I'm making this build, and it became really frustrating towards the end. And now it's getting pretty close to the deadline of the challenge, so I have to just finish up the cab here and place a nice windshield. I found some pretty nice blocks that I think work really well, even though it may be a little janky. As you can see, I've destroyed the front wheels once again, so I'm trying to look for a nice block to replace the front wheel block that'll look a lot better. I used a nice polygon mod pack, which has a bunch of irregularly shaped blocks. By now, my other friend has come back, and they're both working on their builds. His is more of an 8-wheeler, though. The deadline's coming up here fast, so I just have to polish everything off and paint it. Now, the way this game works is you'll never know what's going to go impossibly wrong until you really take it off the lift. So I'm just painting my last blocks here and going for a sort of fake chrome design on the bottom layer. And now it comes time to take it off the lift, and I'm just praying that it's not going to explode here. And when I do, it may not explode, but there is a little bit of a problem. I can't really worry about that, but I hope that when the toilet is in the back, it'll sort of weigh it down. So, I don't know, it's just time to get in the seat and see how everything lines up. And the cab is way too small. I have zero time to fix this, and it's more of an overall design flaw of my vehicle, so I just have to wire things up and kind of ignore that problem. Well, now my friend here has 2 minutes left on his PC. He might be using a school computer or one at a library, or maybe just very strict parental controls, but he has 2 minutes left, and his build isn't really done. It's done enough for him to at least attempt the challenge, though, so that's exactly what we do. As you can see by his build here, he seems to have gone for more of a garbage truck, which I think is what he thought of when I said dump truck or pickup truck. So now he's coming in for it, and it might be a little bit of a tight fit to get that thing under the toilet. His build is clearly not finished, with no bottom layer or finished windshield yet. And as you can see, the other guy is testing out his vehicle in the back. He backs up in it, and it looks like it might not fit. Nope. So a quick thinking, delete the toilet, grab another one, add it to my inventory, and just place it in there for him. Now it's time for him to go, go, go. He might not know it's in, so I walk over here, but it's too late. He's dead, guys. With 50% of the competition eliminated, I try to fix my back problems. I use the heavy blocks and the ultra heavy blocks from the Scrap Mechanic official mod pack, and it seems to even it out. Now it's time to get in the seat and test out my mechanisms. I tried to test the back out, but as you can see, it didn't go too well. No time for that now. I have to actually turn on my engines. Time's coming up quick, and that seems more like a vital step to me. So after that's done, I can worry about the looks of my back and try to fix out what happened exactly. I still don't know what happened, and it'll happen again later as you'll see, but at least it looks nice. Now my friend here is dying of lag and is trying to leave, but I tell him it'll be okay, and I delete all the other builds I had on the map for looks. It's time to save my truck and him to go. So, I save it on the left, and it's his turn for the challenge. His build looks really nice here, and despite the fact that his head is through the bottom of his vehicle, he has a nice pincer design that I quite like. He goes off to the races, and I notice that he doesn't actually need it to be dropped into his vehicle, he just goes down and grabs it. His pincers are actually lopsided, and I'm wondering if he did that on purpose, or if he had more time, he would actually put ramps on the other side. He got that toilet stuck in a corner, so I quick grab another one and put it up on the thing for him. He gets also caught on the cones a little bit here, so I try to be fair and a good challenge host, so I let him through. I leave it up there to see if he wants me to drop it in his pincers, because Connor got a chance when he did it, but he seems to want me to delete it, so that's exactly what I do. So now, he goes up and he grabs it, using his ingenious mechanism that he came up with. He seems to know a lot more about actual programming things in this game than I do, but his execution isn't all that good. He goes in, and he's got it. Again with that lopsided nature in his pincers, with the piston only stopping on one side. It still looks pretty cool though, and I like it myself. So, he's off, and then skirt! I fear the worst after what happened to my other friend, so I go over to check on him. As soon as I do, I jump on his vehicle, but he comes back, and it's off to the races. Turns out he was typing that he can't see anything real, because the lag is just insane for him on his end. But I assure him he's doing great, and go over to watch the final challenge. He does quite well here, and just kinda drops it in. His vehicle was an overall success, and did it in record time. He tries to leave, but I make him stay to watch my amazing challenge. I also had to make a couple adjustments to my vehicle before the start, but I'll save you the time. So, with my stupid head sticking out, I flaunt my functionalities with my nice headlights that I implemented, and he gives me a countdown. Go! And I'm off to the races. So, backing up in this vehicle really doesn't work at all. I'm still not sure why this happens, but it takes forever for me to back up. And I'll save you guys the pain of having to watch me back up. So, here I am. I'm in it, and I'm back in smooth. Took 10 hours. Now, I drop off the toilet, just like that, get in my seat, and go over. Now, because of my suspension, the speed bump is no problem at all. Now, here I have to back up again, and I'm going to leave it in just to show you guys how painful this was for me. Keep in mind, I'm actually driving this, and I didn't have any editing. So, I'm doing this in real time, and crying inside that my build sucks ass. So, as I finally get it more lined up, I start to press my back button. But, as you can see, nothing is really happening. So I line it up, and I try again, but still nothing. It tries a little bit, and the bottom is going, but this is a problem. So I go over, I quick grab a hammer to try to knock it loose, but it just won't budge. I look over to see if my friend is even watching. He's not, but I don't care. I want to finish this. It's my challenge. So I switch around the bearings to hope that does something, and try to knock it loose again. Still nothing. I switch them both back one more time, and that does the trick. It's still not working properly, but at least it's good. Bam! I finished the challenge. Now, he tries to leave, but before he does, I let him know that this video will be on YouTube, and tell him to subscribe to the channel. Just like you guys at home should. So, I decided to fix my back here, because I don't like to leave things unfixed, even though I'll never use this build again. So that's the end of the video, guys. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like down below. This was a really special project for me, and something I've always wanted to do. If you want to participate in any of these, or have any ideas, please leave a comment down below with your Steam name, or any of your ideas you have. But, I'll see you dudes in the next video. Bye, guys.